Hey, everybody out there in viewership land, we got something new for you today. As you can see, we've got equipment. This is our first official podcast. Uh, Cameraman Mac is now all things production value Mac. So now he has to do all the audio, on location. You have no idea how many cameras he's got set up here. It's almost like it's an adult film studio. Forgive me if I don't use the sound properly. Your learning is we're learning. But yeah, this is very exciting. A new road that we're going to go down. I hope you tune in. I hope you subscribe. It'd be great to have people listening. Otherwise, I'm just wasting my time. But one of the things that we're really going to do here is we want a lot of feedback. We want to know what you want to talk about. We're going to have a ton of guests on the show. We're just going to start this one. So it's, again, us learning this equipment and starting a theme. And we have this beautiful location. So let's get into our first one. If you've been following any of the channel up until this point, you'll have probably noticed we do a little bit of everything. From cars, to charity work, to educating people on finances and investing, to even the cooking channel. That's kind of fun. And one of the big things that have come up, because a lot of people want to know how it is that at an earlier age we are where we are. And it's always come back to knowledge. And knowledge only gets passed on from people with knowledge. And you would call a person like that a mentor. Biggest question that comes out of that is, how do I find a mentor? What do I look for in a mentor? And how do I approach someone and ask them if they will mentor me? The only real way to answer a question like that is to flip the script and be the person that you're going to ask. You have to think like they do. Because I'm going to be completely honest, one of the most insulting things you can do is approach someone and expect them to do something. Expect them to take you on. A person that you look up to, is that person because you've probably seen value in them, because they've created value in themselves. That doesn't happen with an average life. You can't create the things that other people want to duplicate with an average effort. So if you're going to ask them to mentor you, because let's say they're a sporting mentor to you, like let's say they're an athlete with a physical prowess that you would like to, whether it's to learn how to play hockey, football, skating, maybe they're bodybuilding, maybe they're a diet coach, anything on the physical side of things, they didn't get there by doing average things. If you want them to be your financial mentor or business mentor, the reason you look up to them is because they've built this environment around them that allows them to be successful. It doesn't mean they didn't have failures. It didn't mean they're even at the peak of where they're going to reach. But the fact is, you're reaching out to them for their experience and their knowledge. So put yourself in their shoes. Understand that a mentor, when they take on a mentoree, little version of themselves that they want to help create to be better, you are nothing but liability to them. So first off, you have to bring so much respect to a conversation when you're asking for someone to be a mentor. When I say you're nothing but liability, let's talk about what liabilities you present when you walk into someone's life. Because I'm assuming you're going to want to shadow them. You're going to want to learn their knowledge. You're going to want to learn their techniques. You're going to want to, if it's business, you're going to want to shadow them through their business processes, their meetings. So I've got a small list here of just things that are complete liabilities for your mentor when bringing you on. The liability right up front. Let's say you go on a job site. You're not familiar with that job site. If it's a dangerous or hazardous workplace, like let's say you wanted to get into resources, natural gas, oil, that type of industry where you really want to talk to the top professionals, the people who've built huge careers in the oil and gas industry. For them to take you to a job site and show you through and walk you through a job site, just the physical liability that you could get hurt and you could sue them and you could cost them millions of dollars. Even if their insurance takes that on, that policy might be voided because you're not an employee. Things that you won't even think of you being a liability are massive in the business world. What other liabilities? You could be, if the mentor doesn't know you personally, they may look at you and say, well, maybe this is a person that just wants to come into my business, see the way I do things, and then they're going to use it against me. They're going to be my competition. They're going to learn all of my tricks of the trade and open up a business right next to me, or get a hold of my client files and go headhunting my clients that I've spent a lifetime building. Do you understand how it's not as easy as just asking someone to be your mentor? They are taking on massive amounts of risk. What else? Oh, the confidential info that you'd be exposed to. Like if you sat in on a board meeting with the board of directors, which would be a massive benefit to someone who actually wants to be a mentee, to listen to how upper management talks when they're making those huge decisions. Yes, it's great exposure to the world of business for you, but you're going to hear everything about that business's financials, good or bad, how it trades around the world if it's an international company, and you're just a giant liability. The mentor has to worry that, are you recording things? Are you going to sell this information? There's just so much. And the most important, I'm not going to cover all of them because it just sounds really, really negative. I just want to open your mind as far as what it is that you're asking someone to be when you're a mentor. But the most important liability or factor of liability is the amount of time a mentor has to invest in you. Are you going to be someone that they're going to look to groom to come into their company? Or are you just learning and out of their good graces they'd like to take you under their wing and produce another entrepreneur or business person or someone who can educate further down the line? But you are going to take up a massive amount of their time. If this is a person you look up to and they've ascended to a level well above average, that person no longer values what average people value. They're not looking at the almighty dollar. The reason they looked for financial security is so they own their time. And the moment they take on a mentee, they're giving that time to you. Because they don't work on an hourly wage. They've worked themselves up to a position where they have financial security. And the only thing that's important to them is their time could be with their family, could just be downtime that they appreciate, and now you're taking it up. So again, back to the respect. You are not asking them for knowledge. You're going to get knowledge, but you're asking for their time. There's no dollar value attached to that, but it is the most important aspect of it. So, we've discussed what it looks like to be the mentor when a mentee has approached them for this mentorship, this knowledge transfer, this amazing opportunity to potentially learn from someone who's done what you'd like to do or has gone through the trials, tribulations, errors, failures along the path. That's what has to go through their mind when they consider taking you on. So what does that conversation look like once you get that chance to sit at the table and ask this potential mentor? First off, you have to create a mutual understanding by being completely honest and open for what you would like. If there isn't respect there, don't bother insulting this person by offering to pay them for their time. If they're where you want to be, like I said, their time is not valued by the dollar. And you're almost insulting people when you're saying to them, I can just buy your time. Doesn't work like that. That may be negotiated later on, but don't think that you can just walk in because you got a few bucks, throw it at them, and they owe you their time. They don't work hourly, okay? They got out of that 9 to 5 life. So don't insult people right off the bat by saying, I'll give you money for your knowledge. They're already using their knowledge to generate money. What you're going to offer them will not make a dent. It's more of an insult. Outline what you would like to learn or accomplish through a mentorship with this person. Now, you don't go and you don't kiss their ass by telling them what you think they want to hear, because they hear that all the time. They don't need yes men in their life. They've already achieved, whether someone else acknowledges it or not. You can tell them, I really admire the way you have built your business in whatever genre it may be, whatever style of business it may be, or maybe, like I said, it was back in the fitness or the athletics game. I would like you to train me. I'd like you to be my mentor, my financial mentor, my educational mentor, investing mentor. I appreciate, I may not understand fully what it's taken to get where you are, but I appreciate and respect how far you've taken yourself. I would love the opportunity to learn. And be completely honest. Tell them exactly what you'd like to learn. I'm not going to go too far into that one. But remember, you can't bullshit someone who's ascended to a place that you'd like to be. They've seen all the bullshit up until that point, so you're just going to have to be honest. I would like to learn this from you. And the other part of the honesty is you're going to have to tell them what your availability is. Because if you just want to go drinking on a Friday, and that's when they've offered you their time, and you keep turning them down because you'd rather go get screwed up with your friends, or you're hungover the day that you're supposed to be mentored, you will lose that person's respect and you will be done with it. See how difficult this is? It's not as easy as, hey, yo, bro, could I shadow you for a day? No one wants to hear that. No one in any position of authority wants to be talked to as your equal. That doesn't mean they're better. But if you think you're already their equal and you're already on friendship level, you're saying there's nothing that you can learn from them if they're just your bro right off the bat. You address them by sir, ma'am, Mr., Mrs., or if they've asked you to identify them in a certain way, that's the way you do it. And I'm sorry, but they have earned that respect because of where they've gotten themselves. If they hadn't, you wouldn't be asking for their knowledge. We'll wrap this up with the very last one. Be punctual and trustworthy. This is always going to come back to a person's time, because when you're done acquiring money and assets and equity, the only thing of importance is your time. If you're supposed to be there at 8 in the morning, 8 o'clock is already too late. 8 is when the learning was supposed to start. So if you walk through the door at 8 and you're not learning till 8:01, you've wasted their time. It's not just a minute, yo. Bro, don't worry. Oh, I'm just caught in traffic. No. There are no excuses at that point. You're going to call them reasons, but they're excuses. When it's someone else's time you've borrowed, if you want to waste your life, go ahead. Do not ever waste someone else's time. That is the most disrespectful thing you can do. So your punctuality and being trustworthy. If they give you a task, do it. Don't question it. You can discuss what that task is, but don't turn it into, are you using me? Are you abusing my mentee status? No. If they've asked you to do something, it'll be a process that you need to learn. Wax on, wax off. Don't question the shit until you're high enough up that you understood the fundamentals of why this person has asked you to do it. Remember, you went to them. So if all you're going to do is question every one of their actions, you're disrespecting them. That's going to wrap this one up. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to comment, contact us. I'm not going to call him Cameraman Mac anymore. I'm going to call him Producer Mac. We'll add all the information for you to get a hold of us, and we can do an extended version of this if you have questions pertaining to this, or if you want us to answer one-on-one, we can set up some type of calling or some type of communication. We will answer your questions more directly. But until now, I'm Chris. Beautiful location out at the lake. I'm out for now.